No.
We're going live. We are live. Okay.
I showered.
Do you need to share anything?
I've already shared too much.
I mean, do you need to share the thing?
I've already shared too much.
All right.
Yeah.
You go. I go. Just get it going.
Okay. All right, we'll see you later. See you later, beautiful women that were just hanging out here. Most definitely hanging out here. We'll see you later. Oh, hey, welcome to the show.
It's the sports program on TSPN with Derek, Zach, and Sean, who's been here the whole time. Head over to timespentpoorly.com and give the show a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and help move this show into more people's suggested lists. This show is also streamed live on many platforms, including YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Follow and subscribe so you don't miss out on an opportunity to chat in and give the guys a piece of your mind during the broadcast. Want to support the show? Great! Go to patreon.com/timespentpoorly to see how you can do that. And now it's my pleasure to bring you the hosts of the sports program on TSPN, Derek, Zach, and Sean.
Hi, scene. All right.
I love what you did.
Thank you.
I hope those ladies got out safe.
They did. They all of them made it out safe.
He called 5 different years because that's the type of guy he is.
And they all exist, definitely. Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. We are live at 11:25. Hey, I got to do a thing and rhyme it. Welcome to the show, everybody. Saturday show. Hey, guys, want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers. Cool.
Show me your teeth.
Show me your teeth. All right, man. We have a fun show. So for those of you who watch Smart Mark Wrestling Radio, we get a lot of people who say they really like the format of doing top 5s, and we wanted to start doing stuff like that on this show. We've been talking about doing that. This week we are going to do at least a top 5, kind of, but it's basically we'll do a ranking, but we're each gonna rank our top 5 best worst teams right now. So they have bad records, under 500 records,
Under 500
records, but maybe they're in the future they have a lot of potential to be good, basically, or should be better this year. Maybe the schedule's been tough. Maybe they've lost by some pretty close margins. I have a few little factors in here. A few of mine are definitely like, keep an eye out on this team for the future. Of course, we'll also have our Pickems today, and any fantasy questions you might have, save it for, ask it, but we will answer them as we go through the Pickems for the week for NFL. Welcome to the show. Oh, also,
easy answer: Chargers.
Well,
we'll get there.
That's a really conservative.
They're on the list.
That's a really conservative guess, Sean. They might not be on anyone's list. They are.
Yeah, but are they 5 or are they 1 or are they 2 or are they a different number?
So are we gonna go? Are we gonna go 1 being the worst,
1 being the best worst team? So there's really I said any team under 500 would count. There is one particular team who Sean happens to be a fan of who's 1 game under 500. So feel like that's kind of low-hanging fruit. I tried to avoid them as my top pick. But
I did too, but they're on the list.
But maybe. They might be. They could be.
You just made the list, stupid idiot.
Okay.
I'm getting really good at that timing.
Are we just hopping right into this?
No, we don't have to. We can.
Well, I only want. I mean, we got nothing else to talk about.
Well, we do have
basketball.
Just one thing. We can go through a couple things. First off, Pac-12 is back. Today is going to be some pretty good games, I think. And they're not at the most notable thing about the games today for the Pac-12 games is they are not at 9:00 in the morning on a Saturday. They are in more prime time hours, which is something that I was a little concerned about going into this. Like, why are these games at 9:00 in the morning on a Saturday? What? Choose another time. Just pick another day. Even Dan Patrick talked about it this week. Like, choose a Wednesday night. Like, there's nothing really on. I mean, wrestling, but I mean, like, not a lot of competition. You're not competing with like NFL. Like, just choose a night. There's a few other conferences that do that. Like the MAC does that. Like they'll just choose a night and they go, here's a night for some football. And they just hope to catch people, just flipping through their channels, and they go, oh, hey, there's a football game on right now. I don't know who these teams are, but here they are.
Not only that, but if you can't fill the stadium anyways, then go for those TV slots that matter.
Yeah.
And you're right, Wednesday night, not next Wednesday though, because that's the NBA draft lottery, baby.
Wow, and that's
Which
so crazy.
I will not be watching unless we do it together.
I have been definitely sharing some mock drafts.
Yes, you have.
And I love mock drafts. I don't care what sport it is. Nothing gets me more torqued than an NFL mock draft.
I like that.
A little longer this time. Do it one more time, but a little longer.
I like that.
Okay, there we go. It gets me pretty chubbed. But NBA I like it because it's less rounds. I can get it all out of the way in a night. The lottery this year isn't going to make any sense, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, who's going to be number one? Who's going to be number one?
LaMelo is going to be one.
But who do you think? Who do you think will get that number one pick?
We already know who has the number one pick. It's the T-Wolves. And then,
that's right.
And a lot of talk is like that's a really bad spot for LaMelo to go, mostly because that team's already notorious for having just juveniles on the team. Like everyone on that team doesn't like. I don't think Karl Anthony Towns gives a shit about winning championships, and so I don't think it's a good culture for LaMelo to go to. Who, from what people have talked about him, is the same. Like if he goes somewhere like that, he's just going to be screwed. Like 2 to Golden State makes a lot of sense for him. Like a winning culture. That's the only way this guy isn't getting ruined. And then the Hornets are 3. And if Anthony Edwards from Georgia drops there, he's the only guy in the whole draft that I think has superstar potential. There are a lot of good 3-and-D guys in this draft. A lot of good potential role players. He's the only one with superstar potential. I think Wiseman goes ahead of him at 2. I think he drops to 3 and goes to the Hornets, and that's a great pick for them. So if like the 3rd pick of the draft could be the winner this year. But as like a team like Spurs draft 11, I think Blazers are like 17 or 18. A lot of good 3-and-D guys, a lot of good shooting guards in this draft class. So like I think all of us walk away pretty happy, except for Sean. Lakers don't have a 1st-round pick, and they don't need one. So
no, they don't.
They're already the champion. They're going to have cap space. They're going to have I think, enough time to make moves. Free agency starts 2 days later, so it starts on the 20th. And then the season starts a month after that. So they got a month to wheel and deal.
Okay. And that was going to be one of my questions. I keep seeing this thing about Russell Westbrook. Is he Is he gone?
Well, he doesn't want to be in Houston. He's been vocal about it now.
Well, what is the point of even going there then?
Well, I mean, he wanted to go there. I don't know. I mean, I know that he wanted to get out of Oklahoma. He wanted to get out of OKC.
Okay, but what was the point? You probably would have had a better chance in Oklahoma City than you would have.
They ended up being the better team, in my opinion, out of the two.
Yeah,
but I
agree.
I think that's because of Chris Paul. I hate to say it, but
yeah,
I've never been a big Chris Paul guy, but he helps teams. Teams are instantly better when they get Chris Paul. Teams are not better when they get Russell Westbrook. They are instantly a little bit worse.
Why is that?
Because he's a stat guy. Like there's a difference between a good stat guy and a winner. Just because you're getting a triple double doesn't mean your team's good.
Yeah.
And it's it never made sense. Like Daryl Morey teams, Houston Rockets, they want to beat you at the 3-point line, and Russell Westbrook not only usually can't shoot, but I think he had like the worst 3-point shooting year of his whole career, and he already isn't good at them. So like it didn't make any sense. Yeah. And James Harden needs the ball in his hand. Russell Westbrook needs the ball in his hand. You can't have two of those guys. So I don't know where Russell goes. I don't know if anyone's going to want his contract. I don't know if it makes sense. I know he wants out, but who's going to take him?
He's just kind of a dick.
Yeah, but he's fun, man. If you go watch like a live game, like he plays the heel. Like he gets you, like when I went and watched the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio play Oklahoma City, really good game, really competitive. He gets the crowd mad at him I feel like on purpose. Like he plays the heel role to where you're like, yeah, fuck you. And like, that's fun. I think it's fun. And then like, if you're a fan of him, it's like the same reason people like Conor McGregor or any other like,
wrestling,
any mouth, anyone who's got like the mic skills they're a heel. You're like, I like this guy because he talks shit and then he backs it up. But I don't think Russell backs it up enough.
I was gonna say, well, that's the thing too, is even in the playoffs this year in the bubble, he still, even without a crowd, was getting shit heated. You know, when he got what's his name's brother kicked out of the barber, the guy that was their barber.
Yeah, so maybe he's just an all-around turd, but I've always liked him.
I thought I didn't. I think I don't maybe, but maybe I do. I don't know.
He's one of those guys. There's people like that. Draymond Green's the same way. It depends what team they play for. Because if Draymond plays for your team, you love Draymond. And if Draymond plays for the other team, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
So
and Zach Collins has kind of gotten that way a little bit for the Blazers.
Chippy players are that way always.
Yeah.
Role players that are chippy, that are willing to go in there and bang, go down under and bang. Yeah. Those guys are always going to be, you love him if he's on your team and you hate him on the other team.
I remember last year when they played, when the Blazers played the Lakers and Zach Collins got really chippy. You saw on Twitter and there's like a 500,000 like Lakers fans who are like, who's this little shit with like the Hitler Youth haircut? Like
he does have the Hitler Youth haircut.
Like what's this kid? Like who's this shit with like the Hitler Youth haircut? Who's like flexing on LeBron and like it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Don't you watch Gonzaga basketball? The answer is no.
Yeah.
If you're not in the Northwest, you're like, what the fuck is a Gonzaga?
Yeah. I'm from there. What is a Gonzaga?
What's even funnier is finally they were number one and in really good position to maybe like make a run for the title, and March Madness did not happen.
Yeah, but don't even before March Madness, isn't that the story of Gonzaga all the time, man?
Oh, yeah.
This is their year. I swear it's their year. Gonzaga, this is their year. I've been a fan all my life, and for sure this is their year. And then guess what? It's fucking not ever. And it's never going to be because you guys are awful. Yeah, fuck that team altogether. And if you're a fan of Gonzaga and you watch the show, first of all, thanks for watching, but we don't want you here. I appreciate the view, but like, I don't know, go watch The View, right? Because that's like what a Gonzaga fan should be doing, is like watching The View or whatever show a Gonzaga fan would watch.
That's pretty good. But yeah, I am for one excited for basketball to be back, even though it was just here. I still always welcome more nights of stuff to watch.
10 less games this year.
Yeah.
I think more. Teams already, if they're in the same division, they'll already play each other 3 or 4 times a season. But now what they're going to do is they're going to like have series like baseball. So like if you're playing the Warriors, you're just going to go play the Warriors a couple times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Get them out of the way. Why make someone travel to California twice? And then like you'll probably the very next night or 2 nights later, you'll go play the Kings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like let's get your California trip out of the way. Then let's go home for a bit. And then everyone can come to Texas for a little bit, play the Rockets, play the Spurs, play the Mavs. We'll see a lot of that. And I like it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I think that'll be cool. I kind of like the series idea too, anyways, because if you're a baseball fan, sometimes you miss, if you're a fan of a team and you miss, the first night, it's like, well, I can watch the second night.
It's just on again tomorrow.
Yeah. They'll split the series or will we start using the term sweep during the regular NBA season?
And they do a little bit for like the teams that play each other enough. Like I know they used it when Phoenix and San Antonio played because I think they swept us, but every bad team swept us. That's why we were a bad team. We looked really good against random good teams and won those games, and then we would lose to just Kevin Love. Like we didn't lose to the Cavaliers, we lost to just Kevin Love.
Right.
Because he was like, I'm gonna shoot a 28-foot 3-point shot at the end of this game and just win it. And everyone, if you watch that game, you knew he was gonna make that shot. It didn't matter. You're like, oh, the Spurs could put 5 guys on him. Kevin Love's gonna make this shot because that's the year we're having. And that's what happened.
Well, and Kevin
I'm
Love
not sad.
Huge dong, dude.
Yeah,
it's huge.
He's hanging some dong.
Yeah, I'd pay to see that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Should we jump in? Should we jump in and do our top 5s for NFL right now? And this is top 5. So this is top 5 best bad teams. These are teams that are under 500 currently. And this could change in just a few weeks. This could change. I mean, the ranking, the style. So this is just current, is what I'm saying. Like the way we have them ranked could change. I mean, this weekend, one of these teams could go out there and just lay an egg, and maybe it changes their opinion on where they fall in the ranking. Or
they continue to lose, and we're like, man, they're still a really good bad team.
Yeah,
because like there's certain teams.
I think one of those teams will be doing that actually.
Well, there's a team specifically who does it every week, which is the Chargers, who every week they lose barely to another really good team. And you're like, well, they're going to keep losing, but they're a good team.
Well, and this is where I've learned through my first year in fantasy where teams are better than what their records are. Because if you have Justin Herbert right now as a quarterback in your fantasy,
yeah, you bet,
then you're doing really good. I have a quarterback. I have a quarterback of one of these teams that he's not been the reason why I've lost games. Like he's been great. Puts up numbers every single week, usually in the second half. And like I'll start off like, oh man, I really need this guy to go off, and then he does. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm starting him.
Okay, so who's going to be the blue gloves on this?
I can go first.
Okay,
because you guys will have more in-depth analyses than me.
I
watch a couple football games.
Call them the blue gloves. Boxing UFC term.
I'm going 5 through 1. Going 5 through 1, and my 5 and 4 could be interchangeable with each other. So my 5 and 4 are in no particular order, but I do have them in an order. Number 5, I have the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow he's going to have a good career. That's such a tough division. It'll always be really hard for him. But if they put some good pieces around him, the Bengals will at least be the 3rd best team in a while. So Bengals, number 5. Number 4.
I like that. I like the Bengals, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're a good pick for being number 5 on this list. Number 4 is the one, as like I said, I could interchange them with the Bengals, and I'm even a little unsure of them in the first place, but it's because I do have Deshaun Watson on my fantasy. I know he's a good quarterback, so I have the Texans at number 4. And the Texans were a playoff contender last year. Like, it's insane to me that they
were in the hunt every year with Bill O'Brien, and then he decided to just pull the ultimate April Fool's prank and fuck the team up and then disappear.
He did good.
Which is another one of the reasons why I think they could be a better team had they not, been sabotaged. So, Texans number 4. Number 3.
Yeah. You got to pay DeAndre Hopkins. Like, that's where it all fell apart. Just pay him.
Pay the guy. Number 3, I have the Panthers on there. They've been better than what I ever thought they would be this season. I love Teddy Bridgewater, though. I don't know why it's ever been a shocker to me. I still think to this day he should still be in Minnesota. I think he should be the starting quarterback in Minnesota. I still think everything Minnesota did was a bad choice. Let Case Keenum play through that season, then get rid of Case Keenum, keep Bridgewater. He gets healthy. You keep him on the team. But maybe it was better for Bridgewater's confidence to go play in New Orleans and then have those great games while Breeze was out and like keep them in contention. Maybe Bridgewater needed that. But the Panthers have been better than what I ever thought they would be, especially with a first year. They like Matt Rule as their coach.
Right. And I like Rule now.
Me too. Like,
I didn't even like Rule at Baylor. Like, I didn't like him as a college coach, but I like him now.
Yeah, and when they picked him up from Baylor, I was like, man, I can't believe they did that. It's insane to me. But he's been good. They're bad. They're a good bad team. Their record doesn't indicate. They absolutely need to get rid of Cam Newton. They needed to bring in Bridgewater. I think their record might be even a little better had Christian McCaffrey played more games this season. They probably would be even better.
A couple of tough losses too. Like, there was the Falcons loss on Thursday 2 weeks ago where Teddy was hurt for a little bit, and the rain kind of just like changed the style of the game when it looked like the Panthers were in control. And then last week they were right there on the Chiefs' ass like the whole game. So they're hanging in there, and I agree with you. They're not on my list, and I left them off for a reason, which I'll get to. We'll circle to it, but I like the pick. I like your pick so far.
I have the Falcons number 2. I actually think the Falcons will end the season at not being at under 500 or maybe at 500. Maybe I think the comeback they've made so far for this season is it kind of reflects how the Falcons should have been from the very beginning. It kind of reflects how the Falcons should have been from the beginning of the season. I think they'll end at least at 500. At least. And then my number 1 on the list is the Chargers. I think Justin Herbert's amazing, and they've lost so many close games, and I just think it's I think they could be a really good team. But also that team might just be cursed because this is like the same story year in and year out with the Chargers.
New quarterback doesn't matter.
Yeah. My honorable mention for the list, though, is the San Francisco 49ers. The reason why I didn't put them on the list, though, is because the reason why they're not a good team is just because there
is no team.
There's no team right now. Like, they should be a better team. It's just like they're not playing really good with like the pieces they have. That's why I didn't put them on the list. Like, these 5 teams are playing really good. It's just the Niners are playing with a bunch of like backups to backups.
Okay.
But they should be better, and I assume that the Niners will get better once we get some of those guys back.
I really like your list, mostly because, there was some Charger and Falcon action on there.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the rest of it too. Like, I thought that all of it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
I like the order of it. I like that the Bengals are on there.
The only one of those 5 that I'm like unsure of really is the Texans.
Right.
I agree with you on the Texans.
I think I would I have someone else in that exact spot on mine. So, Sean, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'll go. Yeah, so like, I mean, your list. I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I was gonna start off with San Francisco's not on the list because they're under
It's
500 because they don't have a team.
There's no team. Yeah.
And they're only one game under 500, right? Like they win this weekend, they're not even at
And I think if it was just Jimmy G out, had they had Kittle, Moster, like everyone else, and they were switching between Mullins and Beathard, I think they'd still be doing fine.
I think they'd be at or above 500.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's see here. My number 5, and like, do I even want NFC East is just trash, so skip.
Yeah, you can make, if you're talking about the top 5 worst bad teams, you got 4 of them covered just by doing the NFC East.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll even like throw in. You're right. Yeah. So let's go.
Which is funny because I actually have one of them on my list.
I thought about putting one of them on my list.
I know who you're thinking of, and that's who I have. We'll get there.
Do we have that? Do we all have that?
Let's see where you're at.
I'm like panicking now.
You got this.
So I want to say, I'm just going to start off with Atlanta and Carolina.
Either order, because they both beaten each other at this point. So it's like, who the fuck?
And then like I want to say Minnesota, but I think they might, the way they're playing, they might pass the Bears within the next 3 weeks.
But that's exactly why they should be on the list.
Yeah,
and I'll get there.
Yeah, so that I'm just gonna tie my number 5. So my number 5 will be the Bengals.
Okay.
Because they're just losing, close games.
And Burrow's good. Burrow is good.
Yeah.
Getting Marvin Lewis out of there. I like Marvin Lewis, but it's good that he's out of there. It's get some fresh blood.
And then at the 4th spot, I'm going to put Atlanta and Carolina together.
Yep.
And then Minnesota, because I feel like they're
Minnesota's your 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're right. Like now that Dalvin Cook's back, he's just it's a good offense. It's just a badly coached offense, but it's talented.
And then at 2, I'm gonna say Houston, man. I know that DeAndre Hopkins was like a big deal, and the coaching staffs, but they have so many good players.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's their division? Do you think it's their coaching?
What
do you think?
I think it's the division for sure.
Division's definitely a factor. Right? It has to be.
The Colts in Tennessee are insane.
Colts in the Titans.
They're 2-4 in conference this year. So you're right. Like 4 of their 6 losses are in that division.
Right.
But I think one of them isn't one of their 4 losses Jacksonville though. Like that's inexcusable, and that's why they're not on my list.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for being the one team that lost to Jacksonville. Are they the one team that lost to Jacksonville? Am I just not remembering this at all correctly? I'm going to look it up.
I'll look up Jacksonville. Keep going.
Well, in their division wins, it's Colts are 1-1, Titans are 2-1, Houston's 2-1, Jaguars are 1-3.
Oh, you're right. They're 2-4 in the conference, not 2-4 in the division.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
The Jaguars beat the Colts.
And they beat Jacksonville by 2. They beat Jacksonville by 2.
So I love Will Fuller. And I do love Watson.
You like Cooks too? Like it's
like Cooks is fun to watch, man, when he has those big plays.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're one DeAndre Hopkins away from being a good offense. It's weird because like Will Fuller makes sense, Cooks makes sense, but who they're complementary great receivers to Hopkins.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I like Will Fuller more than Hopkins. I think Hopkins is a little bitch.
I like him so much.
I hate him. I think over like those top, like I like Keenan Allen more.
Oh, well, I like Keenan Allen more because I'm a Keenan Allen guy.
I like Michael Thomas more, Julio Jones more.
I don't know who Michael Thomas is.
He was really good last year.
I think he's a made up fucking football player. I don't think that he's real. You're right. And exactly, like Houston can't run the ball. Even with David Johnson, I don't even understand the David Johnson move.
Yeah.
Duke as a backup. Duke Johnson as a backup. He's a scat back, right? Mm-hmm. Like they need someone to take that backfield, and probably I don't think they run block well regardless.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and they're like even their running game.
Yep.
Their running game hasn't ever been. Who was their last really good running back? Arian Foster.
But they don't run block well right now. They don't block
Thanks
well.
for listening, Dion.
And that's why they're a bad team, though. They don't block, period.
Right.
Watson is under duress every play. Last season, even when they had a winning record, he had to scramble every single drop back to make something happen. It's magic hero ball.
Yeah,
all the way through.
His big highlight last year was getting kicked in the getting a foot in the face, right?
Right.
Like that's the highlight is his offensive line not being good, and then the backs not being good, and the offensive line is not bad. It's just he also doesn't have any backs. So the backs don't block. The tight ends don't block.
Yeah. And some people will make the argument with him that because he's a mobile quarterback, sometimes he holds onto the ball too long, so it makes his line look bad. But
he's not as mobile as the other mobile quarterbacks, though.
Well, not anymore.
No, I mean he's still. I still, if you were gonna rank mobile quarterbacks, I don't know if I'd put him in the top.
He'd be 3.
Yeah,
it would be Lamar, Kyler, him.
Yeah, okay.
For mobile quarterbacks?
Yeah.
What you're forgetting somebody. Russell Wilson's number 1.
Russell Wilson's, yeah, I mean.
He's not as mobile as those 3, even close.
Sure?
But if you put them in a 40-yard dash, he gets last by a lot. Well, if you put him in a 100-yard dash, he loses by even more.
I think if you're talking straight Danny Dimes break out and run 80 yards.
So that's kind of was
backfield. I feel like Russell Wilson does it better than all 3 of them.
So I would kind of put him in 2 categories. That's kind of what I was thinking is mobile or scrambling. I would say Deshaun Watson is he's a scrambling quarterback like Russell Wilson is.
Yeah.
But I would say Lamar is mobile. He can just run.
He runs to
Cam
run.
Newton back in the day.
He runs to run. Cam runs to run, right? Yeah. Russell scrambles to pass.
Yeah.
Watson does a little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both. Then there's the ultimate, which is Pat Daddy Mahomes, who he can do whatever he wants. He runs to do whatever he wants.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, and I don't even have to say what number 1 was. It's the Chargers.
Yeah.
That whole team, if it wasn't for Eckler being out, those games would be different. All of them would be different, but
I think they found someone with Balaj last week. He's just a freaking powerhouse, which is good for Balaj. Couldn't make it on everyone thought he'd be good in Miami, and he wasn't. Then he went to the Jets, and I don't even know if he played a game.
I don't think.
And then Chargers picked him up because they absolutely had to at this point.
Well, then they put him back on the practice squad, didn't they? They already put him back.
Well, because they're healthy again. And, outside of Eckler. But the rest of them are healthy again. But it's definitely a committee. I think it's been some bad breaks. Okay, so my list is a little different on the back end, so let's get to it.
Okay.
5, I was torn between the Bengals and Giants. I actually went Giants. Oh. I think the Giants are actually going to fire off 3 of the next 4 wins.
Okay,
that's how I feel about the Giants.
I think it's a fair assessment. I think prior to the season starting, I think we all 3 thought the Giants would be in that division, would probably win it.
Yeah, and what's crazy is the division's so bad they somehow still could. I don't think they do. I don't think they do, but I think that they are the best trash team in the NFC East.
Yeah.
So I'll throw them on there. And the Bengals, I know that they're just balling out, especially when they're behind, they just let loose, and they have the second best rookie quarterback, the second best, not the best. They have the second best.
Yeah.
But who cares? Because what a great draft class, right? All 3 of them look pretty good.
And they might be due. We'll get there.
And they might be due, but I don't have the Bengals on there. Number 4, I have the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay.
My 4th pick, I was torn between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions, but then I decided that the Detroit Lions are actually just, as much as I want to believe they're a good, bad team, they are a bad team.
They're a bad team.
And honestly, for the Lions, for me, it's like not to like kick a dead horse, but it's just systemically bad. Like they're just a traditional, they're exactly who we thought they were. Like they're a systemically bad team, and I don't know what it takes for that franchise to even get on a Browns level.
Right,
Yeah.
because like the Browns are a systemically bad team, but they've changed the
Right.
culture a little bit, at least.
A little
it seems
bit,
like.
yeah.
They're on the up and up.
They're trying their little hearts
They're
out.
working on it. And
So,
I
but
don't
that's
know.
the thing is, I think that goes to Stefanski, right? Like, I think Stefanski's a great coach. I think that's what the Vikings are missing. So the reason the Vikings are below 500, I believe, is because Stefanski's not there anymore. That and their defense is a little worse, but I think the play calling, they have plenty of weapons on offense, especially now with Jefferson and Cook healthy. They have plenty of weapons on offense to get the job done. That's a playoff caliber team, but they're not coached to be a playoff team. So I have them at 4.
Sure.
I do have the Niners on my list because they are below 500 and they are a team that should be better than 500, regardless of why. Like, to me, it didn't matter why.
Yeah.
Like, they are a team that should be above 500. They are a good, bad team. They've beaten good teams too. They've beaten good teams.
They have. They destroyed the Rams.
They could still wild card at this point. Is Jimmy G? He's not out.
He's not out. He's not having surgery. But that's the thing is like, fuck, man. Kittle's out. The 2 tight ends, Reed is gonna get hurt. He's gonna tweak his leg again. I don't think he's gonna get a concussion. Maybe he will. You know, he's Jordan Reed, but Dwelly, like, and all the receivers, like Deebo Samuel, like, he's not gonna. I just don't know, man.
So yeah, and so I wasn't with you guys on Houston. I didn't consider them for mine because I actually do think this is just an off year for them. So I think they're a bad team. I don't see them flipping the script at all. I think they finished with probably 3 wins on the entire year. So I don't have them on here. I picked a couple teams based off of they've played head to head at this point, and I'm going to take, like, for example, the Vikings over the Lions. Some of them have played each other, so I use those to kind of use as, like, barometer. 2, similar, close to what you guys had, but I have them at 2 is the Chargers. So I have the Chargers at 2 for the reasons that we've all talked about. There's some heartbreaking losses against some really good teams. The future is bright. I don't know if it's this year, but, like, next year's could be pretty good.
I'm going to be willing to bet that next year we'll probably take the Chargers as our official team of sports program.
We almost did this year.
We almost did this year. Next year I'll feel pretty good about it because I know that Herbert will start.
Right. I don't think we knew he would be in by week 2 this year.
No. But he's exceeded every expectation, though. Has he not? He's exactly. I mean, if you have him in fantasy, you're sitting pretty. You are doing good.
Well,
this is a guy who. What's that?
You would think, wouldn't you?
You'd think you'd win with him.
But I mean, like, this is a guy. If you watched Hard Knocks, he had to learn how to talk. It's insane that he's doing as good as he did because he had to learn how to talk. They talked about, they put a big focus on, like, how all of his snaps at Oregon were clap snaps. Like, that's how he snapped the ball. And he had to learn how to do, like, the NFL quarterback cadence. Like, he had to start from such basic level stuff like that. But he's so naturally athletic and he's got a great arm, and he also can do. We were just talking about scrambling and running. He's not. I wouldn't call him a scrambling quarterback, but he is definitely more mobile than, like, Rivers, and he can get you that first. Yeah, he can get you that first down when you need it, though. Like he's more like a like a Ben or like Josh Allen. Like when you need him,
he's like a Pat Mahomes, actually. Okay. I think he's equally as mobile as Pat Mahomes.
Okay.
And he is the second best talent in all of the NFL, only to Pat Mahomes. He is the next talent after Pat. That's how good he is. And then I probably have Kyler somewhere after that. Maybe that could be a list. I know that I think ESPN did a top 5 under 25 the other day. Mine would be different. That's all I got to say than theirs. because I got
I love
Herbert.
that we're introducing the concept of the top 5 because there's so many of them to do.
Yeah, I would love a top 5 bad teams.
We will do next week. We'll do top 5 bad good teams. Bad teams
above 500, but you ain't gonna be for long, baby.
You're not gonna make it to the end of the year.
Yeah,
Steelers.
No,
get out of here.
they've already, the Steelers have already gotten they're already 500 for the season. Like
They can't drop.
they
below.
can't not be 500 now, and that's exciting to me.
And then obviously number 1, something that I super forced, the Atlanta Falcons. I forced it to be so.
I don't think it's right. I think you did. I think you spoke it into existence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I bet they wouldn't even have been on your list if I wouldn't have spoken into existence.
Well, I mean, I think you spoke their season into it.
Oh yeah,
I think just your positive energy about this team making a comeback has spoke the team into existence.
oh they're spoke.
Because I do think they will. I do think they'll finish at least at 500. In fact, I didn't want to say this. I think there is a chance they could even wild card in.
Well, if they add that eighth team on each side, then maybe.
That's where I was going with that.
But we need the Niners to all the way fall off the map. We need the Cardinals to start being the Cardinals. We need some stuff. We need the Bears to be the Bears.
We will talk about the Bears and the Cardinals next week for sure.
They might be on the list.
I've already made a list, and we'll talk about those teams for sure. Maybe the weekend changes my mind.
But the only thing I don't agree on is I think we're actually going to stay a good bad team all year because we play the Bucks twice still. We play the Chiefs still. We play the Chargers, who are also on the list still. We play the Saints twice still. It's not a good schedule. We play the Raiders, and the Raiders are going to beat our ass next week. Like they are gonna Kermit the Frog.
Well, okay. Okay.
So it's gonna be one of those years where we finish like 6-10 because we're gonna steal a Saints game. We always do. We're gonna steal a Bucks game. Actually, we probably steal both because we always do. But then we're gonna finish 6-10, and we're just gonna go, wow, what a good bad team at the end of the year.
So here's the thing. So the Bucks they're not invincible. We've seen a couple we've seen where they can lose games. And the Saints aren't winning that division.
They're not even invincible. You
Yeah.
know? Can you cue it up? Can we cue it up? God damn it. I was hoping it'd be instant. They're not even invincible, and then boom. Then
This is such good shit.
Oh,
Gotcha, bitch.
okay, let's just go through them all. Just why not? The whole lot. Yeah, but it's rough the rest of the way. But they are a talented offense, and as much as people want to take a dump on our defense, which is rightfully so, Keanu Neal's starting to look like old Keanu Neal. Our linebacking core is starting to look good. What's his name from Yale won Defensive Player of the Week last week in the NFC, and has been my IDP since Sean dropped him, I believe.
who?
The middle linebacker for the Falcons. I could never say his name.
Oh yeah. Well, I've actually switched out that player every week.
Oh, the IDP. It's
Yeah.
smart. There's always a dude who's going to get you 12 tackles sitting on the waiver somewhere. And then
unfortunately-
Deion Jones has looked great. Grady Jarrett's second best defensive tackle in the league. We cut Tack McKinley, so our defensive ends are instantly better by cutting our best one.
I'm feeling pretty good. Speaking of that, after I had where you guys helped me earlier this week, I am feeling good about my fantasy team, and I've set it and forget it now.
There we are. It's about time.
Well,
I'm feeling pretty happy about it.
Don't Sunday tinker because it never works.
that's good advice. You should follow it.
I'm not gonna touch it. I especially after remember my big quandary, my big conundrum was Davis from Tennessee, and he didn't give me a ton of points, but he gave me 6.7, and but the guy I played though, he played Brown from Tennessee, and he only got 2.
Who totally laid an egg.
So So I'm going pretty good. Like he's still projected to win, but I've learned every week that those projected numbers aren't very accurate.
It just sucks because if they could just get you those projected, you'd be sitting pretty usually.
Except for not me. I would have lost every game instead of 1-3.
Yeah, because your projections were always worse than the other guys, huh?
Oh, every single one of them. I've never had
that hasn't been the case for me this year.
If I'm projected to lose, I've won every game I've been projected to lose almost this season. If I'm projected to win, I'm scared shitless because I can't win those games. I cannot win those games.
But you need to be the underdog.
Well, I got
that's
super
typical
lucky.
me. You got close or lucky? What happened?
Well,
you had a really close game. I know that.
Well, it was at the end of the night, at the end of that Tampa Bay Saints game. I was at 115. Suckup got that field, their only scoring points, 40-yarder. He got 4 points to put him at 115, and then for some reason, I bumped up to 116.
There you go. Well, this is a perfect segue. Let's start talking Pick'em. We're at 45 minutes in. It's time.
There's something about that song that triggers me.
Triggers me too. It triggers my my excitement.
It triggers me to like just crack a Keystone Light and
what about
see where noon takes me.
Yeah, let's get going. You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. So we had the Colts at the Titans. I picked the Colts to lose the game. I picked the Titans to win. The Titans. I don't want to say I'm less convinced on them. I think they're tired. I mean, they're tired just like I think the Steelers are tired. Both teams basically have not had a bye now since that last game that was postponed. So
but they got 14 days off going into that game.
Sure. The Colts, I think were just more. It's just surprising. Like Phil is so slow. He's so slow, and it's funny that the game is like, it's a Thursday night game, so I was actually able to watch it. So I haven't seen Phil physically play since last year. And just even like, he's not mobile, but like, geez, even just getting the ball to his running back. It's just like, dude, you are so slow.
That's why I've been making fun of him all year.
He's not Uncle Phil anymore, man. He's great Uncle Phil.
I think he's exactly the uncle that I'd want to have. I have the Colts. I have enough faith in Phil. And honestly, if you watch the game, he missed a couple other touchdown throws. And there was a goal line stand by the Titans as well, where they should have won by more. They should have won this game 42-17 or greater.
I do want to give credit where credit is due, is that they make smart choices on the goal line. Seeing them bringing in like Jacoby Brissett, like, okay, like we know where Phil is not great. Let's bring in Brissett. He'll be better at this. Like they're smart. I mean, it kind of shows their poker hand a little bit, but when it works.
Well, and the running back by committee is working. Without Marlon Mack this year, they've had to kind of rotate between Himes and Taylor, and it's working. The rookie Pittman finally showed up for the first time this year, I think. They have a game plan for him now, and they're getting him involved. So the offense is picking up speed, and the defense is top 3, in my opinion. I say it all the time. Top 3, maybe the second best defense in the league outside of Pittsburgh.
They ran that game, man.
Yep. Recipe for success. I think the reason I picked them is because I didn't see the Titans taking a commanding lead in the division. I didn't see them like pulling ahead. They just don't seem like an 8-2 team. I think they've overachieved. And the Colts completely shut down Tannehill. It looked like the bad Tannehill days in this game. Like he went into the fourth quarter with 99 yards passing. And they did like a bend but not break approach on the running game because there were some big runs. And I was like, oh, Henry's going to get loose. But every time you thought Henry was going to get loose, all of a sudden, boom, 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 3 tackles in the backfield out of nowhere. So Colts are scary.
Yep. All right. So game 1 for Sunday, we got the Texans at the Browns in Cleveland. I'm taking the Browns at home. in this one. Just for the same stuff we talked about in our top fives. Like if the Texans are going to beat a team, it's certainly not like this week in Cleveland. Cleveland's a better team. They're put together right now. I feel like they do have they've changed the culture a little bit. They're not just a systemically losing team right now. They're ready to win some games. And this is a good opportunity for Cleveland to really start putting some teams away to be that. Man, what a tough division! They're a solid number 3 team right now. Could be number 2.
I'll take this. I'll take the second go with these guys. I was really tempted to take the Texans because I actually do think that the Browns are dog shit. Like they shouldn't win another game this year, but they'll win like 1 or 2 more.
I think if they replace Baker Mayfield, they could be a really scary team next year.
Oh, totally agree. But it goes back to like how I said I didn't think the Titans were going to pull to be like a 7-2, 8-2 team. I don't see the Cleveland Browns becoming a 6-3, 7-3 team either. It just doesn't feel Cleveland Brownie. So I wanted to take Houston, but then I really thought about it. Like Cleveland's the better team on both sides of the ball. Like absolutely, I can't let the systemic, Browns that I have in my head take over who they actually are. They'll win the game. Year. Kareem Hunt's gonna do whatever he wants.
Well, I picked the Browns.
Spoiler alert.
Nick Chubb's back, right? So
is he? So no Hunt? Yeah. Woo, that's good because I have a guy who I'm playing against who definitely has Hunt in.
Chubb.
Yeah. Well, the guy I'm playing in Future Dads is playing both of them.
Oh, wow.
Who are you playing this week?
Who is it, man? Who is it? Someone who's about to get their fucking dick stomped.
Man, I hope you stomp a dick this week. That'd be great. Oh, it's Adam. I was gonna say that sounds like Adam if he's got both.
But I'm gonna eat his firstborn.
All right.
That's awesome.
He played Brown.
In the next game, we got the Washington Football Club for men against the Detroit Lions in Detroit in what could be the toilet bowl game of the week. I'm gonna take the Lions, but with reservations. I don't know. I don't care. Lions.
I would like Alex Smith to win a game.
Is Alex Smith starting?
He is the starter now.
Yeah, Keenan Allen went out.
Kyle Allen.
Almost Kyle Allen.
What? Who?
Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen. How many Allens are in this fucking league, dude?
They're all K.
Who's
Allen.
Keenan Allen? He's a receiver.
Yeah, you said earlier you liked him.
I know. Kyle Allen. I think he almost had an injury almost as bad as Dax. I know. I don't think it broke, but it was pretty brutal.
With Alex Smith starting, it makes me more. I want the football team to win, the Washington Football Club, but I'm still gonna stick with the Lions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lions. I do. Alex Smith puts a little more faith in my junk, but I just I hope he doesn't get hurt. Huh? Is Galladay out?
Yes, Galladay is out
all year or
just this week. He's just listed as out. They haven't moved him to IR or anything like that. But man, it feels like he's out all year, right? Like if you have him on your fantasy team, you've got to play him like twice this whole season.
Yeah, but when he was looking so good, dude.
Well, because he's talented.
He's a beast.
Dude's talented.
We do have a fantasy question, but
I know. I was checking some matchups. The thing is about Balaj. We were just talking about it. Like I don't even know if he actually ends up suiting up.
I'd say just go with McKinnon, honestly.
But isn't Uncle Tevin back this week?
Doesn't matter. He's gonna take a snap and get hurt. Who cares?
Okay, so
we'll get there.
Yeah, Aiden, he's gonna take a snap and get hurt. No, yeah, we'll get to those players for sure.
Okay.
I also have Detroit, but I will say like you said, who knows? I know that 85% of the pick'em, it says 85% of all people have taken Detroit, but this is a pick'em game. This is a 50-50 game.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm taking the Lions because they do seem slightly better, and it is at home. And their 3 wins, they looked like a good team. It's just in all their losses, they look absolutely trash. So
let's move on from them so we don't make a mistake. Jacksonville Jaguars are going to Green Bay this week, and Green Bay.
You can do whatever you want.
I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be an ugly game, and I think the Packers are going to rebound huge and win this game.
I'll take it. I'll go next.
Okay.
Go for it.
I think that the Packers will win. I don't think it's going to be like what they did to San Francisco, just because I thought Jaguars looked pretty good last week. I know they were playing the Texans, but that rookie quarterback looked better than Minshew, I thought. And I just really like Chark. I like their running back Robinson, and I think that the little sprinkle of all those other receivers, they're all big threats. So I don't think it's going to be a crazy. Packers are going to destroy them, but I think Jaguars are going to have at least fantasy football potential.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this game's a just absolute like blowout. Like you can almost make Jacksonville the toilet bowl of the week, no matter who they're playing. They can be playing the best team in the league. It's the toilet bowl because it's Jacksonville, and they are the toilet of America.
The Jacksonville is, I think, on level bad with New York Jets.
Yeah.
I actually think talent-wise they're a worse team. We saw last week that the Jets have a pretty good receiving core. They made Flacco look young again. And they have talent on the defense. They'll trade it all away in the next year somehow. They'll screw it up. But like Jacksonville legitimately doesn't have talent.
No.
They have like 3 or 4 like top draft picks. They'll also trade those guys away because that's what they do.
Amazing, dude. Chark is a beast.
Shark's great. He's great.
And Robinson, the new running back, the rookie running back, dude.
Flash in the pan, man. He'll be gone in 3 years. He won't even be in the league.
You're
even be in the league.
flashing in my pan, dude.
I'll flash in your pan. I'll sizzle, baby.
Sizzle, baby. Like you can't say that, man. Like Raheem Mostert, this running back who was on 8 different teams, comes out of nowhere.
Raheem Mostert has wheels, man. Robinson's slow as piss.
No, but I don't know. We'll see.
He's a 4.66 guy, I think.
You're a
He's like
4.66 guy.
I wish I was a 4.66 guy. You think I can run a 4? Thanks, man. That's
Yeah,
dope.
it's your eyes.
NFL running backs run that. Now.
Ooh, I love this next question. We'll get to these when we talk about these next ones.
So Wayne Gallman's a fucking stud, by the way, though. Like, can we go back to that real well?
Yeah.
The Giants picks the very next one, so let's talk Wayne Gallman. Let's do it.
All right, so Philadelphia Eagles at Giants in New York. I went with the Giants at home. I have no analysis. Just I went with the Giants. At home.
That's it. What do you go? I'll go next.
Right.
I picked the Eagles. I think it's going to be like last time. I think the Eagles will just pull it out.
Yeah, because you're like actually being smart about this. I'm with Derek. I'm like, this is a 100% like gut pick right here. There's no science behind taking the Giants, except for that every time they lose, and I watch the game because for some reason they end up on TV a lot. When I watch the Giants, I'm impressed every time.
Yeah. Gallman, though, you're right. Gallman might have a pretty good game against the Eagles. So
3 straight weeks with a touchdown. I do think their running backfield is a little bit healthier now. Like I even saw that I think Devontae's even suiting up this week. So like he might get a little less touches than he has the last 3 weeks. And that's when you don't play someone, right? Like 3 straight weeks with a touchdown, they shit the bed the very next time. It just feels that way.
Yeah.
I saw McKinnon's projections are like somewhere between like 12 and 15, depending on what type of. That's close. I think I'd go McKinnon. I don't know about you. Like you say McKinnon too over Gallman?
I do. Just especially if Freeman comes back, but that's the same thing. Freeman runs one play, he's going to get hurt. He's out. Who knows?
Yeah, his whole body's glass at this point.
Yeah, and Uncle Tevin, man.
Well, they used to be together, man. Put them together again.
I think Jerick McKinnon I don't know, man. Fuck the Saints. That's all I gotta say.
But they're good against the run.
The Saints are, yeah, and especially they're. I feel like we'll get there. Fuck it, we'll get there.
But okay. But here's the thing. I would play. Yeah. Are you playing? So back to that guy. If you're playing, if you're playing PPR, it's kind of close. But if you're playing standard, I would say it's not close at all. It's Jarek all the way.
Yeah.
But either way, Jarek. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Who do you have for the game though? That's
what?
right. You already picked. You picked the Eagles. You're the
I
smart
think-
one here.
I think it's going to be close again, but I think somehow they win.
Yeah, I went. That's why I went Giants. That was the same thing with Zach said. It was just like I've seen a few Giants games now, and like I'm always impressed by the loss.
You're on the Danny Dimes hype, huh?
a little bit.
I am.
Okay, hold
I
on.
am on the Dimes hype, man. Like if they continue to be bad, I think they shouldn't draft a new quarterback. I think they should keep Dimes. But
I
I'm
think
probably wrong.
I think we answer this guy's question real fast because we passed Tannehill. I dropped Tannehill.
Yeah,
It's just like a fuck one, marry one, kill one situation.
Oh,
Okay,
is that
so
okay?
I would
Come on.
bang Ben because he's
Really?
Oh, you know.
Okay, no.
You know what he'd do.
Let me go first. You fuck Tannehill. You marry Breeze and you kill Ben.
That's the morally apt thing to do. Yes.
Okay. The more
Ethically, you made the right choice. But
Okay.
I'm looking for a wild night, baby. I'm looking for a wild time. Tannehill's a stud. I'd marry Tannehill. You know what's going on with Ben, baby. And then I'd kill Breeze because he doesn't deserve to be alive. Like that's so easy to me. Like
that's
Breeze.
That's because of the division that you.
yeah.
Breeze deserves to be crucified, and I think we all know it.
Okay, actually, let me start over. Fuck Tannehill, marry Ben, kill Breeze because Breeze is racist.
You can't just call anyone you disagree with racist. Like we're gonna go back to this all season.
This is America.
Yeah. I guess you can. It's America. You can say whatever you want.
America, I
So
can do whatever I want, and as long as it ain't racist.
I have a weird fantasy feeling about Breeze. So like last week, dude throws for 4 touchdowns, but he only throws for 200 yards.
Yeah.
Like it really depends like how your league sums quarterback points because they're all different.
Yeah.
If there's a multiplier on touchdowns, then that's the way to go. But if every extra 100 yards is a big deal, then I wouldn't cut Ben. That's for sure. Ben, like, he's going to start spreading the ball around the yard again like he was a few weeks back. I think that's coming. So don't cut Ben. I would probably cut Tannehill. I'd cut Tannehill.
Yeah. I'd say cut Tannehill for sure.
Tannehill's starting to come back down to earth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I accidentally started him because I'm in 6 leagues and I fucking forgot to switch him.
But the thing is in that game on Thursday, if AJ Brown doesn't drop that bomb to him on the sideline, that ends up being a 60, 70-yard touchdown. I think they were on the 40. And then that completely changes the numbers of the whole game.
Had he had gotten that, Tannehill would be at the projected 20 points he was supposed to be. You're right. I missed that play because I was pooping. Okay, we have one more question, and then we're going to move on. Oh, there's 2 more. Hold on, what did this guy say? Of the 3 PPR, who do you start? Zach Moss, Landry, or Alshon Jeffrey? Not Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, and Landry's been sketchy this year.
But I think he's going to do okay in this game coming up against the Texans.
Yeah, I think so.
I do too.
And I don't think Zach Moss is a is this like a flex spot then, obviously?
Yeah, and it sounds like it's full point PPR, so Landry would be super tempting to me.
Yeah.
I don't answer
Ten.
fantasy questions, but if I had Landry, I would be starting him this week against the Texans.
And then and so we all agree Landry, and then TJ Hawkinson is bound to have a good game against Washington football team.
Yeah.
For men.
I
almost did it.
don't do it.
I didn't want to. I didn't mean to.
All right. So let's Buccaneers at the Panthers in Carolina. So I am taking the Buccaneers in this game, but this is one of those ones where I was like, man, the Panthers could sneakily sneak a win in this game. Like they could do it.
Mhm.
Just sneaky take that win. And if any team was going to be the sneak here, you know, and if any team was going to be a sneak this week, this would be the one. I think the Panthers just getting one out. I am going to take the Buccaneers on the road, but if the Panthers win this game, I am not surprised by that.
You are very welcome, not even average. And you know what? I bet you're better than average.
Yeah. I bet you're top tier, baby. Grade A.
And Bud, we were lied to about what average was most of our lives. So
Yeah.
like you're probably doing pretty good.
All right. You're up next, Bud, because this is your ever last on this one.
Okay. I have the Carolina Panthers. I know the logic. Like Tom Brady's he's gonna embarrass himself. And what does he do after he embarrasses himself? Like when he thinks that it's 5th down or whatever.
Yeah, it comes out.
He comes out and just takes over because he's a winner, and that's what he does. But you know what?
Teddy Bridgewater's the winner too, baby.
Teddy Bridgewater, man.
And they're on my top 5 best.
And even if Christian McCaffrey doesn't play, Mike Davis comes back in and gets after it.
McCaffrey's not playing.
He's finally gonna get a touchdown this week.
Let me check.
This is I like to take at least one risk for the week.
McCaffrey's out.
Yep.
I like to take at least one risk for the week. And I was actually torn because like I think the Giants are a risk being a +4. I don't take +4s if they're the home team because the home team always gets a little bit of a Vegas boost because they're the home team. So they're still a +4, which means that like Vegas thinks that the Giants have no chance of winning this. Vegas has thinks there's no chance of the Panthers winning this. And I'm taking 2 upsets this week. So this is stupid. I should probably switch one. I'm not gonna.
He might come Sunday.
I'm feeling I don't switch, man. I'm just not a switcher. If I say it on the show, I ride those picks till the end. And you know what, brother? And you know what, brother? I'm sticking with the Panthers.
Okay. I picked.
Now I need to make a brother.
I picked the Panthers, guys.
Okay.
That's why you wanted to go last. Is you thought you were going to be the only one who want Panthers, and you thought you were fucking coming down on us.
Well, listen to this. I like Robbie Anderson. They also have a Brown. I like that Brown. Is all the Brown receivers are top dogs.
Yeah.
They are top dogs.
I like Davis. I like Teddy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grandpa Pat.
So, do you guys think that fantasy ultimately has a bias in the point that, like, now we're starting to pick teams in Pick'em because we like their players in fantasy? It's such a bias, and I've started to be that way.
Well, it sucks because, like, you see the potential of those players having great weeks. So you're like, God, yeah. I mean, yeah.
But doesn't it stop us from looking at the team aspect of things? A great example is Thursday night. I took the Colts because I looked at it as who has the better team, where some people might go Henry, A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, Tannehill. They look at the sex appeal, right?
Well,
like their fantasy players.
Okay. Well, yes, I picked it. I thought it was going to be close. I thought it was going to be closer.
And I'm saying I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah.
Like I pick a team because I have their players in fantasy and I want the team to do well. So I'm picking them to win because I want their offense to just go off.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so 2 people pick the Panthers over the Buccaneers. That might also just show our hatred for Tom Brady. Not even fantasy.
Because I was just gonna pepper in right before I went to the next one that even though I took the Buccaneers for this, I'm actively rooting for the Panthers to win this game. So
because you hate Tom Brady,
he's shut me out too much. I can't get over it.
You can't. I love it.
I just never gonna be over it. I hate the Patriots, and I don't care that he's not on the team anymore. Okay. Buffalo Bills at the Arizona Cardinals. I think I will be talking about the Cardinals next week, I think. This week could change that, but I think this is the week we're going to start seeing the Cardinals be the Cardinals, and I'm taking the Bills on the road.
Oh, I see. I see what you did there. I thought you were going to flip the script.
No, I'm taking the Bills on the road. I think this is where we start to see the Cardinals be the actual team that they are.
Yeah, I picked the Bills. Fuck the Cardinals, man. I fucking hate DeAndre Hopkins. I think I will hate any team he's on.
Boys, though, doesn't it just seem like we're letting how
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Does it seem like what?
I know what you're gonna ask, and yes.
Go ahead. Tell me. Say what you're gonna say.
Well, no, I'll make a different point. So the Seattle Seahawks have the 32nd ranked defense in all of the league. That's the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, the Bills looked very good against that last week.
Uh-huh.
They looked very good against that last week. Now they're on the road, coming to Arizona. Josh Allen does not go off like that back-to-back weeks very often.
No.
He comes back to earth real quick. So I just think our Seattle bias, our hatred of, once again, certain things is at play here. I think it's at play.
I think
Okay.
that I see what you're doing, and I see what you're doing and what you're saying. I just think that I think defensively, the Bills got him defensively, right?
By a long shot. Yeah.
So, I mean, and DeAndre Hopkins isn't that good this year.
He's so good, man.
I just don't think him and what's his nuts have the chemistry that they want.
Not yet.
Yeah, next year they'll probably get it because they'll actually have like a boot camp. What are those things called?
Training camp.
Training camp.
I think they'll go on a couple dates together.
Yeah,
have a couple cold ones.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I just don't think this is the year.
Okay. I think that Arizona is overhyped. Like they're even a -3 favorite. If they were a -2, I always say like home team's only a -2. You take the away team every time. But they're a -3 makes it harder for me. You guys both want Buffalo?
So you're going to go Cardinals.
I did have Buffalo picked. I'm just playing devil's advocate right here.
Yeah.
For this,
don't get in my head.
I'm going to take Buffalo also. I don't want to switch.
Okay.
I was going to make all these points for Buffalo, but then both you guys picked them. So then I was like, let's give Arizona some love. But I agree with Derek. Like I think Arizona's going to start stinking soon.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'll say this. Kyler Murray is the real deal, regardless of how the rest of the team.
Yeah,
He's the real deal this season. Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to take one hit in his little skinny leg, and
it's coming. It's going to happen eventually. Dude, I said it last season. The guy is not playing 10 years. Not playing 10 years.
Thank God he slides, though. I mean, that'll get him the 8 years he plays. Denver Broncos at the Vegas Raiders. I am taking the Raiders at home. I don't hate the Broncos here, though. And if the Broncos snuck a win here, not surprised. This is a pick 'em for me. I went with the Raiders. They're at home. They have a better record. They played better teams.
Raiders are a good team.
Yeah,
I'm going Raiders. I got nothing to say.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are a better football team. And the Raiders have looked great this year.
Mm-hmm.
It used to just be the John Gruden effect. First 15 scripted plays are always amazing. They start off hot, but now it's the full game. They are a 4-quarter football team now.
Yeah.
Raiders.
It's kind of cool. I like Derek.
We want to take a quick break and answer this question because I don't even understand it.
So he's in a keeper league, which means that you can retain multiple people, 3, right? So they can retain 3 going into the next season.
Okay.
So you can they're able to trade picks. So trade a 2nd round pick, which is really a 5th round because the keepers fill in. Okay. Yeah. For Anderson, I assume they mean Robbie Anderson, or a 1st for Mostert and Anderson. I would go with option A because I don't trust Mostert a year from now. Because you know what I mean? Like and Mostert is a sexy boy in both formats when he's healthy. Yeah. I think I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers have a completely different running back room next season.
Which is really sad because I feel like had he not, he's
the guy. If he's healthy, he's the guy.
Well, yeah, he didn't even have a single injury last year. Nothing. You know what it came down to? MetLife fucking Stadium.
So I like option A there because I assume you're talking about Robbie when you say Anderson.
Yeah.
And we all like him on this show, right? I think we're all Robbie
I
guys.
like him.
He's
I
great.
liked him when he was on the Jets. He was just on the Jets.
And not only that, but long term, I think him and Teddy Bridgewater only get better chemistry.
Yeah.
Okay. Chargers at the Dolphins in Miami. We get to see Tua and Justin Herbert this week play each other. I
have a feeling we have really similar picks.
That's a fun thing that's happening this week, though, that it's Herbert and Tua.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I was actually, honestly, I'm really torn on this game. I did, on Sunday when I made these, I did take the Dolphins just because I think they've had better luck.
That defense, man.
Yeah, and I really want to take the Chargers in this though because I really want them to win. I'm just like pulling for Herbert, pulling for the team. Like I want the Chargers to be better, but I made the Dolphins pick on Sunday, and I'm gonna stick with the Dolphins.
What do you want? You want this? You want a little piece?
I want a taste of this. I just want to see how it feels. I think if you don't take the Dolphins, similar to the last couple weeks, you're dumb. That being said, I'm going to take I'm going to take the Chargers because I'm going to ride with my boy. He's due.
Yes.
Every week I have one game where there's no logic behind it other than he's due, and I'm not going to praise the Chargers as much as I've praised them this show and not take them in this game. I think this is the upset of the week.
Okay.
Because I think it is an upset because I do think the Dolphins are a complete football team.
Yeah.
But I think this is a statement game, right? It's the best rookie quarterback versus the third best rookie quarterback, and I think Herbert wants to prove that.
I don't think he has to prove anything. I think he has.
But what I'm saying is the moment is not going to be too big for him.
Yeah.
Like he's going to want to prove that.
Yeah. Yeah. The Dolphins should win. Will they? No. Chargers are going to win it.
Okay.
But yeah, Dolphins, I think like exactly what you said. They look like a completely different team from last year, man. It's crazy.
Which I'm glad because I like Brian Flores, so I'm glad he's going to keep his job regardless however the season plays out, and I'm glad.
I think even if they kept Fitzmagic in there, they'd still be rolling.
I think, yeah.
I think so. I mean, I haven't seen Tua can run, but so can Fitzmagic.
I mean, Fitzmagic is a September quarterback, though, and we haven't got to see him really do great after September, and now we're not going to see it again. Okay. Bengals at the Steelers. So I'm taking the Steelers at home because I'm just not choosing against my team this season. I decided at the beginning of the season I'm not going against them. That said, there's a pit in my stomach here where the Zach logic of their due haunts me, where Joe Burrow is good. And the Steeler defense hasn't been as good. I mean, they've gotten stops when they need to get stops. The Cowboys game has definitely shook my foundation a little bit. But I'm taking the Steelers at home, but the Bengals could be due. I'm unsure of Ben. I know he's slated to start this game. I don't know if it's a great idea. He didn't practice all week. For me, if I'm making decisions, I'm sitting Ben out in the game. Just get his knees are hurting. Just sit out this game. Let it play out. Let Mason try, I guess. I'd rather have Dobbs in there. I think Mason's trash. I don't think he's on the team by the end of the year. I don't think he's on the team for next
going to next season, yeah.
Going into next season, I think Mason is a backup somewhere else, or he's playing in the XFL if they ever get that going again. I think he's bad. He sucks. And I would rather have Dobbs. Dobbs is never even dressed up on the sideline though. He's just there.
He's chilling.
Yeah,
I think he's on the sideline trying to grow eyebrows.
he is. I like Dobbs though. So does Ben.
He doesn't have any hair. He's like Shazier, no hair.
Yeah,
He's like a turtle.
I think Dobbs will probably end up coaching. Like I could see him coaching eventually. I mean, he's
a real Brian Leftwich.
So I'm taking the Steelers because I'm not going against my team this season. But they're 8-0. It's never happened in franchise history. The Bengals have had some close games. Joe Burrow's good. And then the Steeler defense against the Cowboys with a fourth string quarterback. Oh God, there was just so many things that went wrong.
That boy was looking fiery though, eh?
They sucked.
You don't mess
so
with pride of
long
Texas.
for so hard, and but they did pull out that win. I also just think it's like what I said about Tennessee. Also, they're tired. The Steelers are tired. They're not getting a bye week. They should have had one now, and they have not. I like that it's at home. Going Steelers.
Yeah, I can see how people could say it's a trap game, but I disagree. I think that after a bad performance, they're going to go out there fiery. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think Steelers are going to dominate. I think that they're going to put the ball all over the yard. It's not their fault they had to go against the Pride of Texas last week. They had to get. If Gilbert keeps playing, everyone's gonna get a taste, brother. Everyone's gonna get a taste. They're just gonna start lining up teams to get themselves a taste. You know.
No,
he's gonna bring it to everyone.
I got Steelers.
He's got stuff to prove, but yeah, Steelers for sure.
I mean, I do like some of the logic in that though. Like they pick up this fourth string guy, he comes out there and he plays in his first starting game and just does, throws everything at the wall just to like, hi, I should be here. Like he's not just a chip on his shoulder, but just like everything on his shoulder.
Yeah, he's the Oprah Winfrey of giving out a taste.
He's
That's
like,
all I gotta say.
He came out there and he was like when Sunshine got the chance to remember the Titans. He just came out there swinging.
Yeah. Why we got to go back to remember the Titans, man? Hey, let's peel the rest of this fantasy talk. So they shared their team with us: Ryan Moore, AJ Brown, DK, Henry, Jacobs, Andrew. How are you 3-6, brother?
That's a fucking. I think it's probably because of Ryan.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that team is nasty.
Yeah, I don't think you. One, I don't like the concept of carrying both Panther wide receivers. So, like, if you have DJ Moore, and I would have one or the other. Yeah, I don't like having both. That looked good for like a week or two, and now it's starting to come back down to reality. I don't like having both.
What was it last week? It was Samuel,
and now exactly, because Samuel's in play now, and I think Curtis Samuel is very much in play these days. He's very much in play, so that's rough. I think you have a great team already. I don't know if I actually make a lot of changes with that, unless you want to like make some slick move to get your hands on a different quarterback.
Because aren't you saying Hunt's going to be the guy next year? I
don't know anymore with those guys, man. I like Hunt, but I think Hunt might have to be the guy on a different team next year.
Yeah,
on a different team. So hold on to him because he'd be great for the Niners.
Yeah,
or the Bears.
The Bears. All right. So we all took the Steelers.
Yeah.
Okay. Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams. Man, is this a pick'em game? I kind of feel like it was a pick'em game. I'm taking the Rams at home. I'm taking the Rams at home because the Seahawks defense sucks. That's my logic. That's it.
Worst pass defense in the league. It's not my precious Falcons, thank God. It's not the Cardinals, also surprised. Huh?
Or Falcons second worst?
I think we're 30th, so we're third worst.
Cat out.
We're big time, baby.
Big time, baby.
What do you got to say? Who are you taking? Who are you taking, huh?
But real quick, coming at my birds real fast.
You went to the wrong side. There you go.
Coming at my birds like that.
Yeah.
I thought we wasted a first round draft pick on AJ Terrell. He's actually watching that young corner learn every week is impressive.
I love watching you.
He's becoming an NFL caliber
Corner.
1 or 2 cornerback, like 1 or a 2 guy. He's our dude.
All right.
And now I get why we got rid of Trufant, because Trufant ain't that good anymore. And he might not.
the true.
But back to this game. I got to say my piece.
Okay.
Rams.
That's what you guys chose, eh?
I just feel like the Rams are the team that they're basically I was wrong about them team. Like I just think
Yeah, you were.
It's all because you watched Hard Knocks and you're like, I hate Sean McVay.
I still hate him.
Yeah, he's
I'm just so excited to be out here with you. Like God, I still hate his guts.
So the thing about Sean McVay is he's only lost to Pete Carroll one time. One time. I think he's like 4-1 against him, 5-1 against him. He don't lose to Pete. And I made a weird play this week, boys. I'm in a really deep 12 man, real deep. People know what they're doing. And I needed someone to play over Matt Ryan, and I went Jared Goff all the way. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 touchdowns in this bad boy.
dog.
Ooh,
I don't make plays like that.
The guy I'm playing in fantasy this week has got Goff.
I think Goff is going to take that sloppy dong of his.
Whoa.
He's just going to Gosling all over these fools.
Continue.
He does look like Gosling.
He's going to Gosling all over these fools. And I know you're a Titans guy. I know you're a Remember the Titans guy.
Bring it up. Anyway.
So here's the thing: is just the Seahawks defense sucks, the worst. They play hero ball, and then the Rams have a good defense. So, like, is that hero ball enough against a good defense when the Rams also have a good offense? Like, that's just the straight logic I used.
You did. You guys
Sean,
both. You both picked sound logic. I, on the other hand, am going Seahawks.
Why?
Oh,
You like hero ball, huh? Why you got a soft spot for Seattle this year?
I love DK Metcalf, dude.
That's why, huh?
I love him.
Purple hair does something to you.
It was that moment he ran 90 yards to fucking tackle that dude.
It's cool. And I like Russell Wilson. I mean, I do like Russell Wilson. So
I like Pete Carroll. I'd love to chew bubble gum with that guy.
Oh yeah.
I'd love it. But as far as the rest of the squad, not for me.
You don't like DK?
If you play for the Seattle Seahawks, I don't care how badass you are. Screw you, buddy.
Who was the tight end that the Steelers picked up last year? We had him for towards the end.
The guy you guys got from Seattle?
Yeah. He was pretty good.
I don't know, man. He played for Seattle. He's highly forgettable.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not on the Steelers anymore.
So they must not have been very good. You guys probably realized your mistake.
It's because they got Eric Ebron.
Exactly. You had to go get a real tight end because you realized your mistake.
God, Ebron's been solid too. Actually, that in that Cowboys game, that jump over that dude, I was like, "Oh,
I know." Ebron's been solid.
He knows.
He's ruining my fantasy season.
Anyways, Seahawks.
Okay.
Seahawks.
Okay.
Seahawks.
San Francisco.
I think it would come down to the wire, though.
Oh, sure.
Agreed.
San Francisco 49ers at the New Orleans Saints. I really hope the 49ers win the game, but I went with the Saints.
Yeah, I assume that everyone's going to pick the Saints, so it's like I will pick them so I don't fall behind, but I want the Niners to win. But it's one of those games where you won't feel bad if the Niners win because you know nobody picks them anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't think any of us picked them.
Not much you can say besides what you've said.
It's just not a team right now.
I picked the Saints. I've actually kind of given up on Pickem too. I was on a real high note there for a second, but the past 2 weeks have got me at a real low. So,
Well, if you had given up, you would commit to the Niners.
yeah, but I'm going Saints because I haven't given up that much.
I knew you had. I was trying to talk you into it
I'm still ahead of both of you.
Sean, you were here.
for now.
You've always been on the show last year, and you've always been here. But the reason why I don't go against the Steelers anymore is because of last season.
Yeah.
I went against the Steelers. Every game I picked against the Steelers, they won.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, all right. It's just bad juju. I'm not choosing against the team. So
Now look at you guys rolling.
so I just gonna pick them. Thick or thin of it. Even if Mason goddamn Rudolph is starting, I'm picking the Steelers. Ugh.
Oh, I wouldn't. That would be the deal breaker for me, brother.
God, if he becomes no, I can't even say it.
I hope he becomes the next guy because that would be so funny.
I think I know who the next guy is. I've already said it. I think they make a play for Sam Darnold. I really do think that.
And Sam Darnold is very much in play.
Right. I think they will make a run to get Sam Darnold to bring him in there for next season.
I don't know what do they have assets to trade for him? Do they have picks?
Yeah, but they have some first round picks.
Yeah,
this year.
Right.
And they're notorious for trading away first round. They don't give a shit about those first round picks.
No. They draft all their receivers in the third. They draft all their receivers in the third round, so yeah, they'll be fine.
And they'll bomb the picks. So whatever. Okay. We got the Ravens at the Patriots, and while the Ravens are a rivalry team of the Steelers, I am delighted. I'm thrilled. I'm excited to pick them against the Patriots because fuck the Patriots to hell. Ravens will win this game. The Patriots are bad, and it feels so good.
Sean, do you want to go?
Yeah, man, I'm going Ravens. The Patriots just are a sad team this year. They're as sad as the Niners, but they have their whole team.
Yeah.
Right. This is as good as it gets for them this year. And they lose this game.
It's so good.
I know. It's a double win for me because one, it's the Patriots, who I don't hate, but they are the Patriots. And two, it's Cam Newton, who I do dislike strongly.
And I'm opposite. I like Cam Newton.
I actually have felt bad for him this year because I've never really liked him, but now watching him just not be able to get it done, you think I would relish it, but
right.
I felt bad for the guy.
Well, because he was so excited, and
well, and he just doesn't have any weapons around him, man. Like they were talking about how he's found some guys last week, and they're like, he's found some guys in the passing game finally, and you're just like, against the Jets, cool.
Yeah.
Find those same receivers against Baltimore, and then we'll talk.
I almost made a move on Myers for this game. I was like, wait,
cool.
No. I was
That's
like,
I do need the Ravens to. I mean, I need the Ravens to lose some of these games here. Like,
and don't worry, brother, because they will, because people have figured them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there was an upset, it could be this game
for sure. For sure. This does have upset all over it, but I think the safe bet is to say the Baltimore wins. It's just a safe bet.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay. That's a primetime game. Monday night.
Why?
I don't know.
They've really fucked the primetime games this year.
It's been bad.
It has been
Sunday
really bad.
night's usually the good one. Mondays are usually bad. Thursdays are usually bad. And Sunday nights are great, but Sunday night's equally as bad this year.
Yeah, it's been really terrible. The Ravens are back with the Steelers on Thanksgiving, and I hope my meal is going to be better than.
You guys are having bird for dinner.
Bird. All right.
I never tasted Raven, but there's always a first time for everything.
You got Vikings and Bears on Monday night, and wow, what a game is that gonna be?
It's crow meat.
This is a good Monday Night Football game, man. I think.
So I took the Vikings in this game because I think the Vikings are a bad good team, and I think the Bears, much like the Cardinals, are going to be in my conversation next week for a good bad team.
But they'll only be at 500, which means they're not applicable. If they're at 500, they're not applicable. Because 500 is not good or bad; it's neutral. If they lose this, they're not a good team. If they win this, then you can put them on your list.
For next week, yeah.
But you can't if they lose it. So by default, you have to pick the Bears for this. You have to pick the Bears so you can pick against them next week. You have to. Sorry,
Well,
you don't have a
this
choice.
is where I feel like the Vikings start coming alive, though. It builds the.
We're not doing the worst average teams next week. That's not what we're doing. That's not the topic.
The worst best teams, which Vikings are not a Bears and Vikings not a.
I'm taking the Bears at home, but they barely win it. They squeak out the win, and Vikings. No, fuck no. I'm taking the Vikings on the road. I don't care.
I was just trying to manipulate your pick.
I'm taking the Vikings on the road because
Where's your marionette, bro? Where's your strings?
Yeah, pull the wool off your eye, bro.
Because the Vikings are starting to look alive, and the Bears have started looking like the Bears.
What do people say? Pull the wool off your eyes, bro. These guys have got you fooled.
All the sheeple out there.
These guys have got you. The media's got you fooled about the Bears, man. They've got you fooled.
They don't, though, because the media doesn't like the Bears.
No, they don't. Actually, the media downplays the Bears almost every week.
The Bears could be 8-0, and the media would still be like, I don't know about the Bears.
After the Bears beat the Buccaneers, the media was still like, I don't know about the Bears, man.
Well, yeah.
I don't know about the Bears.
And that's the thing is I picked the Bears in that game, and I still don't know about the Bears. Who'd you pick?
I had the Vikings.
And Quacky boy, what you got?
I took the Vikings.
I picked the Vikings.
Yeah.
You guys are sold on the Vikings train now.
I think in this game for sure.
Because you don't like the Bears.
I just don't know about them yet. I'm not sure.
But you know about the Vikings?
I was real high on the Bears that first 5 weeks. I was like, yeah, this is cool.
Does anybody hate the Bears other than like Vikings, Packers, and Lions fans? I mean, like
No.
the Bears are the most vanilla team in the NFL, right? Like
If you're not in the division, if you're a football fan outside of that division, you're like the Bears. Okay.
yeah, like it's just a team.
So I do have one question because I feel like we always talk about Thursday night's games after Thursday night happens.
Oh, do you want to jump to next?
And I'll just ask you. You don't got to look. I got it pulled up. It's Seahawks against Cardinals.
Well, I better make the pick though if I'm going to do the.
Seahawks don't lose to the Cardinals twice. They win that game.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Seahawks at home on Thursday.
They got plenty of crowd noise to pipe in.
I got Seahawks on that game as well, boys. So that's it. That's all I thought we should do.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I made the pick right now so I can not forget it.
I'll forget it, but
I already picked that entire week. I went and did it.
I'm not picking that entire week until after this week.
I wait until Tuesday morning, sometimes Monday night.
I do it Sunday. I do it Sunday while the games are on so that I do not forget and have what happened to me last year.
It's almost better to do while the games are still happening as opposed to when they're all the way over and then you have that little bit of bias, like that's salt you still got in your mouth, the bad taste when your team loses all the time and then you just don't know what to do anymore and you have to cry for days because your team's you guys don't know that feeling, but I've cried a lot.
I'm crying right now.
And I'm not afraid to admit it. We're pretty bad. But we got a bye week, so I don't gotta be sad this week, boys.
Yeah. That's good. I'm happy for you.
That I don't have to lose this week.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that pick. We didn't have to make that call.
You
I
think
would've
you're,
picked
you think you're
Falcons.
gonna win, dude?
I'm gonna win something this week.
The Falcons have a 100% chance of not losing their game this week.
That we can't screw it up.
Yes, you can.
We'll find a way.
Could you imagine? It's like somehow they get a loss.
32 players on the Atlanta Falcons test positive for COVID.
Oh, I already forgot. Who are they playing?
No one this week.
Oh, yeah, it's a bye week.
I think we play the Raiders next week.
Julio Jones.
Oh, the Raiders next week.
I was like, sorry, in my brain, I was like, but we talked about the Falcons, but that was because of something and completely
Just talk because the Falcons make their appearance on this show when one of the hosts likes that team.
Yeah, but then I forgot we did the.
Well, no, they were on all of our lists. Otherwise, they would have never came up.
That's true.
Well,
they would have came up.
yeah, because I started talking shit and you went, what Falcon?
Also,
But I wouldn't have brought him up if you.
I
would've
don't
talked
have
about
that
the words.
luxury of having a week where I don't talk about my team because we don't have a bye. So, thanks, Tennessee. I also love that.
Isn't this perfect for you then?
You guys
No bye. You get to talk about your guys
You
every
guys-
week.
You guys had a bye week though.
Yeah, we had a bye week because they had to have a bye week in like week 3 because the Titans, because they moved. The COVID stuff's weird because they moved that game and then all these other games that have happened where it's been like COVID stuff. They're like, we'll just play with people who were bagging groceries last week.
Yeah, the Niners. The game wasn't even a
That
conversation.
game should have been delayed. Moved.
Week 3 is a great time. First of all, to have a bye week, in my opinion, great time.
Do you wholeheartedly believe that?
No, that's a terrible time for a bye week. Then now they have to play 15 games in a row,
Yeah, that's nuts.
With old clock.
or
Fucking
14
man.
games in a row.
Picture of Ben where he had like the ice packs on his knees and his shoulders. Jesus.
Yeah, that guy. I don't know, man. They
Yep.
should sit him out this week.
I was saying this week, like it's a divisional game, so it's like, well, you want to win your divisional games, but it's
No, who cares?
like, Bengals, who care? Like they don't have a chance at anything.
Yeah, you're undefeated. Take a loss sometime.
Get them out.
Feels good. It's humbling.
Let Dobbs, I would say Dobbs play. Get rid of Rudolph forever. Ooh, okay. Here's my. So they trade away their first round pick and just unload Rudolph to the Jets also as like a backup quarterback. Just
Right. You can have 2 first rounders, and we're gonna sneak in Rudolph. And they're like, "What was the last thing you said?" And we're gonna.
Then the Jets go, "Now we don't really want him," and then the Steelers just go, "No, you can have him though."
It's like you're like it's like trading cards, and you just stick a bad one in between the 2 good ones when you hand them over. They're like, we're also gonna give you Mason Rudolph, and they're like, what did you say? Oh yeah, 2 first round picks. They're like, no, what was the other thing that you said? And they're like, we're gonna give you Mason Rudolph.
You're gonna get Mason Rudolph
You're gonna get Mason Rudolph. But in 2 first round picks.
and Mason Rudolph.
They're gonna be like, "Look, you guys, Mason Rudolph is tall, so that's a thing, right?"
There's worse haircuts out there. Greg Ostertag, and then
After
Mason
after every play last year, they showed that son of a bitch on the sideline fixing his hair, and I'm like, who cares? Get rid of him. He's trash. And he's probably racist.
I don't
know for sure.
Allegedly.
I'll believe
might not-
Miles Garrett, who writes poetry on his off time, over fucking Mason
I
Rudolph.
mean, Miles Garrett did wait an awfully long time to say that he said something racist.
Well, maybe he didn't want to,
But no, he definitely, I mean, there's something suspect there, but Mason Rudolph definitely was not innocent in that entire transaction. If you watch that, he's saying a whole lot of things.
Yeah, so even if he didn't say something racist, he said some mean boy stuff.
Yeah.
For sure. He was being a bully.
He said stuff that he couldn't back up.
Well, I don't think against Miles really a lot of people could. So in that situation, if you're Mason Rudolph, maybe the better idea is to not say anything at all.
Yeah,
He was also going.
Myles Garrett with his shirt off.
Also, Rudolph was going for that helmet too. Like, if he would have got Myles Garrett's helmet, he would have clubbed him with it. Instead, he got fucking caveman on the field by a club.
It's still one of the most brutal concepts ever, right? To a 300-pound man bashing you with a helmet.
Think about if you would have hit him right on the top of his soft fucking head, dude. He would have died. He would have fucking died.
Yeah, that's not good for football.
No, he's lucky he got grazed.
It's in your hair now.
It's good for Game of Thrones. It's not great for football.
It's not good. No. Yeah, it's not good. Anyway, get rid of him.
That's it.
I like that we finished Pickems and then still managed to just pepper in an extra 10 minutes of anti Mason Rudolph talk.
It sucks, man. I just don't want to see him. I don't want to see him play. I don't want to see him on the sidelines. I'd rather see Dobbs and his no eyebrows.
Today's broadcast was brought to you by Zach's hatred for Gonzaga and Derek's hatred for Mason Rudolph. And then Sean, I don't know. Do you hate anything today?
Fucking Hoyer.
He's had let's just say something. Yeah,
I hate Brian Hoyer. I really do. I fucking hate him.
He's like not relevant right now at all, but
he's always there. He's always on a team,
dude. He's
Paxton Lynch.
He's occupying a spot in your brain, which means he won, man.
Well, you also didn't have him as a starting quarterback for a season, now did you guys?
No, I sleep sound at night.
Yeah. You've had Matt Ryan for 15 years or however old.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's gonna break every record before he retires, so I feel pretty good about him.
You think so?
He's on pace too.
No,
but he is though.
No, I'm just telling you no.
Well, the Steelers still had the best backup quarterback ever, and that's Charlie Batch, and everyone knows it. He's a real cool guy too.
Actually, fuck Matt Ryan. That's where we're going on this show now.
I think it's a great time to end the show. I think that there's a lot of
Matt Ryan's going to end up being the 49ers quarterback, I bet you.
Yeah, and then he really will break a bunch of records.
I think we're going to see a reunion in San Francisco.
I think it would be. I completely agree, and I think it would be apt because all this mean boy stuff that Sean's saying, I think that what he deserves is 3 to 4 great years with Matt Ryan. I've had my time, man. It was great. I will. It's like my old favorite jacket, man. Like I had some good years. You know, we've cruised in the drop top together, but it's your turn to wear that beautiful jacket. I don't know. I want you to have it,
but I don't want.
No, but you would look really good in it, and so like, I think you should have it, man.
I don't wear jackets. I only wear sweaters.
If I was a Niners fan, I'd want Matt Ryan.
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo is a sweater, bro.
I know. He's really breaking.
Boy's soft.
Dude, let's end the show.
This is such good shit.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Oh man, that might have been my favorite minute of the show. Honestly, everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy football tomorrow. Enjoy some college football today. There's gonna be some great games.
Go Ducks!
Go Ducks! Yeah, let's end it on that. Go Ducks!
Go Ducks!
And go Warriors!
And go Warriors!
Go Warriors!